Hi, it's Chris. In this video, we're going to show you how to remove and reinstall the pressure switch on your Whirlpool washer. Removing and replacing the pressure switch on your Whirlpool washer is actually pretty easy to do. It only requires a few basic hand tools. Keep in mind, if your machine needs to be repaired, it's usually simple enough to do it yourself. Visit PartSelect.com, enter your model number, and quickly find and order the part you need. Now, the reason you're probably looking at having to remove and replace the pressure switch on your Whirlpool washer is you're getting a circumstance where either it's not taking in any water at all when it's supposed to, or the machine is actually starting to overfill. When you start seeing the water level inside coming up higher than it typically is, it's a very good chance it's a problem with the pressure switch. So in order to remove and replace the pressure switch on your Whirlpool washer, the top needs to come off. And to do that, we're going to have to pull the machine out because there's screws that are mounted into the back here to get the top off. So we want to make sure before we get into any of the inside machines, we remove the power by unplugging it and turning off our water hoses, and then we can just slide our machine around enough in order to get the top off and change the part. So there's 3 screws that hold the top on, and they can be removed either with a 1/4-inch nut driver or a Phillips screwdriver, whichever you have at home. That's the easiest to find and work with. Once the screws are removed, it's just a matter of sliding the top back towards you and lifting it off the machine. And we'll just set it to one side. So now that we have the top off, we can easily see where our pressure switch is located. And you can tell this is the pressure switch because you're going to find a hose going to it that comes up from the tub itself. So to remove the pressure switch, it's really easy. All you need to do is take hold of it and rotate the switch, and it'll pop right out. So with the switch out, we can now see where the wiring harness attaches. So we need to pull those wires out of position, and to do that, there's a little locking tab right here. So we're just going to pull that up with our fingernail, or you can use a little screwdriver, and then just wiggle the connector right out of place. With that disconnected, it's just a matter of pulling the air line from the tub that goes to the pressure switch off the pressure switch, and just take a hold of it and just slowly pull it off. And there you go. It's just that easy to remove the pressure switch from your Whirlpool washer. So now to install those pressure switch, it's just as easy to put in as it was to take out. So the first thing we want to do is put the air tube from the tub onto the pressure switch. Now this just pushes on, and it should be a good friction fit. In other words, it's taking a fair bit of effort to push that hose on. If you find when you go to put the hose on, it's easily sliding into place, then it's too loose and there may be the possibility that air escapes past this, which messes up the switch, and you could wind up with an overflow and flood condition. If that's the case, you're just going to want to cut that first 3/4 of an inch off, and there is enough hose there in order to have it reach again. So you get a nice tight fit. The next thing we want to do is hook up our electrical, and that's really easy as well. You just got to bring the connector into position, and it'll only go on one way. You can't make a mistake and hook it up wrong. Just bring it into place, slide it in, and you'll see that that little locking piece dropped down into position. So that's got that all settled away. Now all we need to do is to mount it into the frame of the cabinet, and that's done simply by rotating it again, slipping that tab into that hole, rotate it downwards so that that pressure hose is on the downside of the switch, and it's installed. Now we just need to put our top back on and put our machine back into place. So now we'll put our top back on. It's just a matter of bringing it up into position, setting it down into place, sliding it forward, and now putting our 3 screws back in. There we go. Now that the top is on, screws are in, we can plug our machine back in and turn on our water supply, turn the machine back and put it into position, and then we want to make sure we have our drain hose set down into the standpipe. So there you go. It's just that easy to remove and replace the pressure switch on your Whirlpool washer.